$500 a month is literally all it takes for you to buy your first rental property. Take a look at this property, $210,000. You'd probably look at this price and be like,
no, I can't afford this.
I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step process that I'm going to be taking to buy my third rental property. All right, so the mistake most people make right now is putting their money every single month into a high yield savings account. So putting your money into a high yield savings account, you're kind of already losing to inflation. How inflation works, when the government prints more money, your money ends up losing value. So when you're getting money from the banks and it's paying you around 3% a year or 4% a year, just know that inflation's also growing at 3 to 4% a year. So technically, your money is just staying flat. And if you're not putting into a high yield savings account, you are losing money over time. You might be saying like, oh, everything's skyrocketing in price. No, your money is devaluing. So I have the better way and I'm going to be showing you now. What you want to do is put the money into the portfolio that I created, right? And I'll show you the return that's brought in the last 10 years. It's beat the S&P index and it's relatively safe. What is an ETF? It's pretty much just a basket of companies. That's all it is. If one company ends up going bankrupt during let's just say we go into a financial crisis or something happens, then you're going to end up regretting it and you're going to end up losing money. Nobody wants to lose money. Why would you want to do that? All right, this is pretty much the loophole and the mindset. You're going to put your money into the stock market. And every single month, you're going to let it compound over time and let your money work. That's literally what you want it to do. You're putting money into valued companies where these companies are using that money to go ahead and make more money for them, essentially growing more in value and you getting a return every single month. You're going to keep doing that rather than putting your money into a bank account. And after that, once you have enough money, you're going to be able to buy a property. Now, maybe you might live in California because I live in California. You might think like, oh, I can't afford a house in California. But let's just say for example purposes, we're looking in Texas where a lot of the properties are worth around $200,000. A $210,000 property that's been sitting in the market for about like 60 to 90 days, maybe even more than 90 days. You want to go ahead and bargain it down to like 180,000. That way you get a smaller down payment. You get to put the money that you're going to put up in the beginning as reserve. And now you have cash flow coming in. Now, essentially what you're doing when you buy a property and the mindset behind it is you want to see it as investing into your own business rather than putting the money into the market. Your own business is now generating equity plus cash flow. That's how you should look at it. Now, it might be a little slow. You might be like, well, I'm not really gaining much money. Think about this property paying you after all expenses, $500 a month cash flow that you are putting in every single month into the market, right? If you look at it as a business now, you have now bought yourself back time, $500 a month that the property or your business is producing you. So why not do that? Why not invest into yourself? That's literally how you should be doing. That's how everyone should be doing it, but nobody fucking teaches you this. Now here's the exact 5 fund portfolio that I run. I'm giving it to you guys for free. I'm not even charging you guys for this. I should be charging honestly, but I'm not charging. Okay. The 5 fund portfolio consists of SPMO, SPY-M, QGrow, BTC, and IDMO. God damn it, Max. Also, I have a specific allocation for how much money you're going to be putting into these funds. You want to make sure you risk diversify anytime you put a single penny into the market. This is where you're putting your own money at risk because you're investing to somebody else's business. Let's just say you already had a rental property and you had some excess cash and you wanted to make some more cash flow. What you could do is renovate the property that you have, meaning putting your own money into yourself or your own business, essentially making you more money every single month, more cash flow, and appreciating in equity. So that's why you should risk diversify. Anytime you put a single penny into somebody else's pocket. Nobody ever tells you this on YouTube. Here's the exact back testing showing my portfolio in the last 3 years that if you were to do $500 a month, you'd be able to buy a property today, literally today, where everyone's saying, even during 2022, 2023, 2024, everyone is saying, oh, everything's super expensive after COVID. No, you can make money everywhere. The American dream still lives. It's just that propaganda has kind of ruined it. Yes, things are more expensive, but again, your money has devalued. You have to be investing that money somewhere. This is how long it's going to take to hit your down payment. I would timeline, if you're doing $500 a month, it'd probably take you about 3 years to do. Now, if we hit a recession and the market booms after, which has done, 2022, it's happened many times in the past, you're essentially going to come out with even more money because you bought at such a low price. Even if you buy a house in 3-4 years from now, it's such a blessing. All right, so this is the mortgage calculator right here. If you were to bargain this property down to $180,000, and again, this is just an example. There are properties that you can probably get it for $170,000. A $210,000 property, you probably get it down to $180,000, even $170,000. That means your down payment would be around $36,000 and your interest rate would be around 6%. And if you're wondering right now, oh my God, I won't be able to get approved because I don't have any income. Yes, you can. All right. There's such thing called as a DSCR loan. You can go ahead and buy points as well, lowering your interest rates, paying a little bit more upfront. 6% interest rate, $279 property tax, which is your estimate, and homeowners insurance is going to come out to $70. And your rent is probably going to be around $2,000 to $2,100 a month if you go ahead and charge a little bit more rent. You can do $2,000 a month. That's no problem. That's the average rent in Fort Worth, Texas. Let me show you guys a screenshot of us plugging in that address and showing you the average rent. Looking at the screenshot from the location of the houses that are currently for rent, we're looking at $1,850 to about $2,000 for rent for a 3-bed, 2-bath in that exact location or in that zip code area. Now, to me, what I would do is obviously charge a little bit more rent, probably around $2,000 or $1,900 to $2,000. That way you can get a positive cash flow of about $400 to $500 per month. That's essentially leaving you with a return of about 16% ROI gross. Now, of course, you should have some reserve. After every month, you should be putting some money away. Even if you have a little bit of reserve, just still put some money away when the rent is coming in. And even if you collect 10% a year, your equity is still growing. You're still gaining money every single month in equity. This is the price value going up since 2020. This property was valued at $150,000 roughly around 2020. And now this property is sitting at $200,000. If you were able to negotiate the price down, that's going to help you so much with your cash flow every single month. There's so many of these properties for $210,000, but it doesn't mean it's selling for $210,000, especially for properties that's been sitting in the market for over 60 days. You don't want to pay this specific price. You want to come in at a bid for like maybe $170,000 and hopefully the seller will sell it to you for that price. All right, let's say that you have bought your property and everything is going well. Now for me, I'm currently making around $700 in cash flow. That's because I got a pretty decent interest rate and my cash flow is pretty high for that property because I am charging around $2,100 rent. When I first bought that property, I only bought it for around $200,000. So it's a pretty decent amount. And here's a screenshot. Now, once you have bought your property, this is where it gets really, really fun because now you have the $500 a month that you're putting into the market plus $500 coming in from your real estate. That's your business. Now you get to put more money into the market working less because you also got a property manager handling all your work for you. You don't have to do any work. As long as you have reserves, that's what's going to keep you afloat. That's what kept me afloat as well. Now, instead of it taking you 3 years to buy your next property, it's probably going to take you about 2.5 years to buy your next property. Maybe even faster depending on how the market goes. But you always want to consider it 3 years for $500 a month for a $200,000 rental property. Your property 2 is going to come really, really fast, and your property 3 is going to come even faster because now you have two properties printing you about $400 a month each, plus you have your $500 a month that you're also contributing. Now, this is the sauce that I want to give you guys right here. The market funds real estate and real estate funds the market. Look at it like this. There's going to be times where the market tests you, but discipline is like the most important thing. Anytime you want to pull out your money, try not to do that. Okay. Always have some reserve before putting in your $500. That way you don't touch what's working for you. Most people quit at the beginning and the boring part. Now, that's why I have this Discord community. You guys could join completely for free. I'm not charging for anything. The link is in the description. And also, I'm going to be on there once a week, probably hopping in on calls. You guys could talk to me about whatever you want to talk to me about, your position. I would love to hear it. I have a lot of value to give you guys. I'll be dropping it in the next video. Subscribe and like if you stayed till the very end. You're a fucking real one if you did. Comment the number 1 if you did do that, actually. I just want to know.